Take 5. Take 5. I've done this and then I've just gone on for too long. Right, this video, let's recap. So we left Cannes after being in Cannes for 2 months back. Still the winter when we was in Cannes. While we was there, while I was there, I started, I had a little bit of work. My tools got stolen. And I didn't really enjoy it there. It was it's a rich part of France in it. So moved, kind of got banished from Cannes port. Had to move whilst not really ready. Went over to the islands, and then after that went into Antibes, where we thought it was going to be the promised land, and there was going to be like loads of like-minded people, and there would be work on tap, if you like, but that turned out not really to be the case, and battery problems again. So I know I keep having the same problems, and now in real time my battery has been working good for the last week maybe, so I'm getting on top of it, but trying to do it, as we said in the first video, on a budget, with little experience, on a boat that, when you look behind me, you probably think it looks quite nice. When I do a boat tour, I'm going to do a really honest boat tour, and I'm going to show you all the bad parts. So when you normally see the boat tours and it's all the good parts, I'm going to show you all the bad parts of this boat. Coming soon. I'm just waiting to replace the GoPro, but I will show you all the bad parts. But going back to my point, little experience, a very, very tight budget, and a really small, well, not really small, but really unprepared boat. And not being able to stand up in it, for example, is something that when I was in a port and it was all flat, and I would say to people, well, what do I need to stand up for? When I'm out at anchor and it's really rolly and I need to cook and I'm like crouched over the cooker, little things like that on top of all the other problems you might have had in a day as well build up. And I'm not saying it's all bad, because I wake up some mornings and the sea's flat and the the sunrise is nice, and I can go and jump off and have a swim. And a lot of other videos might not have this much moaning. I say moaning, but it's because this what I like. It really is little money, little experience, and a not ready boat. So because of that, there's going to be hard times, and that's what it's been. So I don't want to take them out. I want to keep putting them in the videos, and hopefully in time it gets less and less and less. But I'm not trying to just make a really negative, don't buy a boat, because I would tell anyone to buy a boat. But what I'm saying is it can be tough also. So that's what this video is about. I'll see you at the end of the video. Right, it's another morning. Yesterday we survived the swell. Got up this morning and more boats than I've ever seen in my life. All it's like some, I don't know, it looks weird. I've not had a coffee yet, so that's not helping. But yeah, it's just loads of boats looping around. So I wonder how they're not all just crashing into each other, innit? Anyway, I've forgotten what morning number it is, and I can't edit any of the videos yet because I yesterday again had an issue with the engine battery as well. It just ran out of power. I have managed to find the problem with the solar panel. There was a problem within the connector on the solar panel end. I've taken that connector off, and yesterday I tried to find a replacement, but again they don't have one, which you'd think things would be easier to find in Antibes. Anyway, what I've done is I have rented a post box, so I can order the things I need offline and go pick them up from the post box. I'm only going to use it for a month or 2 months to order everything I need. because sometimes just sourcing stuff locally is just not that easy. It should be. I'm in France. I'm not like in the wilderness, but yeah, it's not always easy. And sometimes buying it online's cheaper too. Yesterday as well, I caught some people messing around with my dinghy when I got back, and for some reason my outboard motor's been turned the whole way around, and now there's like fuel leaked into the bottom of the dinghy, which I don't know what. I don't know if someone actually messed around with it while I was gone, but I got back and there were loads of people shining the torch at it and rummaging through. People sometimes think things that aren't theirs can just, I don't know. But yeah, I've managed to get the solar panel working, so the engine battery, even on this cloudy day, has gone from 11.8 to 12.33. So hopefully by the end of the day it will start the engine again. We should be fine here at anchor still. I am concerned about this anchor, and maybe it just held well, but I was shocked yesterday with just how much it was moving around and didn't move. It wouldn't be the first time I've caught on a rock either, would it? So let's hope that's not the case. But yeah, it's Sunday, so getting supplies, gonna struggle a bit today. I really need to start to think about some of the jobs I can do whilst at anchor. Obviously I can't use power tools in my pocket. That was the broken part of the solar panel. It's all corroded, so that's why it weren't working. Yeah, because I obviously can't use power tools out here, but charging stuff is also difficult. Anyway, I'm gonna get a coffee and tidy up, and I was gonna go back towards Golf Juan today, which is in between Antibes and Cannes, and maybe go into the port for a few days, but it might not be necessary, so I might just save the money. But days can be long sometimes out here just bobbing around. It's one thing if you're sailing, like that's then what you're doing in the day, but I kind of accepted that I need to get the boat taken out of the water, the bottom cleaned, and need a head sail to be able to do that a bit more productively, rather than it just be long, frustrating days where I end up having to motor, which I don't really like to do. So there's the next bit of coast to cross. Yeah, I've been in Antibes a few days. I don't know if I'm just going to move on, to be honest. I wanted to do a whole experiment, but yeah, who knows. Anyway, today we are going to go explore this fort, which is the one that's lit up on a night time just like this. But yeah, I don't know how we get in because we seem to now be walking away from it, but I'm gonna try get in there. Right, so we found the entrance and we found a map. It's a nature reserve as well. Let's go in and have a look then. Should have brought some water. It was like cloudy when I set off, and now it's the sun's come out, so hopefully my batteries are charging, or battery is charging. So they do tours not going to let me video the tour though, are they? I'll have a look. It's in like 15 minutes, so I'll go see if it's free. I'll do it. If not, I'll Google it and I'll let you know. Whether to do the tour or not, it's going to be long, innit? I don't like tours. I'm one of the people who just likes to go look at things myself. Yeah, so I don't know. If I could go in and have a look around, I'd probably go in and have a look around. But as far as the tour goes, do I do it? Probably not. I've got things I need to be doing. It's hard to leave if you start a tour in it, and if it's like 2 hours long and I want to leave, I don't know. So I decided I was going to do it, and it turns out I don't have €3 in change in my pocket, so maybe we'll come back another day and do it. Pretty cool though. I like forts. So there must be a disaster somewhere. The patrol boat has gone out of there, literally got from there out of sight within about 10 seconds, so in the direction of my boat. I hope it's not my boat, but definitely a disaster somewhere. All them sailboats went out earlier, didn't they? So I wonder if it's something to do with that. But yeah, definitely going quicker than 4 knots anyway. So this is where we're anchored, and then it's a small row from the boat over to the cove just there, and then the dinghy is just up on that beach just over there. The boat looks nice from this far away. You can't see all of the imperfections. Looks pretty cool. Maybe we should paint like Sailing Yorkshireman on the side, and then everyone from the wall who's probably stopped to take a photo could see it, and then it'd be like some free advertising. At least now that I've come stood up on the wall away from the boat, I can see that probably when I'm sunbathing on the deck in my Speedos trying to sort my short tan out, that actually everybody can't clearly see, because yesterday it looked like everyone was a lot closer than they were. And actually, while I'm on the boat too, that wall looks a lot closer than it is, and these rocks look a lot closer than they are. Although yesterday, while the wind was blowing straight towards these rocks here, it was a bit scary. But from here, you can see it's actually a fair distance from there, and even bigger distance from here. And we're probably alright, it's still there for a few more days. The battery obviously isn't ideal. Tomorrow's a bank holiday as well, so if we don't get it sorted today, we're also not getting it sorted tomorrow either. Some people love their own voice, don't they? Anyway, we were saying. Yeah, and then that's where we came from over there, and then I was tempted to go anchor up over there, but then it's a bit of a distance from the shops. I could do with getting the bike up onto land, and I could probably put it on the dinghy and row it over maybe, or I could put it on the dinghy and engine over, but to do that I'd have to go over to the port, and yesterday, well not yesterday, the day before we did that, and it took up about 2 litres of fuel, which adds up. So, and we don't have a fuel cap yet, but I'm going to have to order one and get it posted to my new mailbox. Somebody just chased after me on a bike to ask me if I was the owner of the boat, which is quite nice because, I don't know, it's nice to someone to acknowledge it. I don't know. They asked me if it was an ecume de mer, which I've mentioned in previous videos. The reason I picked that one was because it looked like an ecume de mer, but it was slightly bigger, so that's quite nice that someone thought it was an ecume de mer, I guess. Right, this is take 2 of this, because take 1 was maybe a bit too bad for YouTube. But I'm sat on the floor of the boat. I got back, solar panel wasn't charging the battery, and yeah, I just feel a bit, I feel like I'm going around in the same circles. I'm way behind what I thought I'd be doing, and I'm definitely way behind what I thought it was going to be like when I thought about doing it last year. And well, not just last year, but the years as well before. But then last year, you know, I had a clear plan. I was fairly content in everything. I was fairly happy, and then everything that I had planned didn't really go to plan, and this is probably the aftermath of that, and I'm just trying to get on. And people watch and comment and say, yeah, but you're on a boat on the south of France, your own boat. But I've been trying to think that myself today. Yeah, it's my own boat, but you know, sometimes people are saying that who have got their own homes, houses. I don't know, it's one of them days where it's just been difficult, and it's been building up for ages actually, because even however many episodes you're watching before this, it's the same. And it's, I hope one day I look back at all these episodes and all the viewers I lost by probably just being miserable all the time, and I look back and I think, you know, you did it. But days like today, I'm struggling to just get up and do it, because everything I'm trying to do is not working, and it's gonna, you know what, I'm said on episode 1 of this that I was either going to show people it couldn't be done or it would be done, and I'm sure some people watched that and thought, you can't do it. And I'm looking out the hatch for some motivation, but and I hate filming stuff like this. I hate that I've just picked the GoPro up and done this. And honestly, there's so many videos like this on the GoPro which I've not deleted. I'm probably gonna make a video probably for Patreon, because I don't want to just put it on normal YouTube, because loads of people probably wouldn't want to see it, or I'll put it as a separate video. I don't know, where it's times like this where it's just been really hard. But I'm quite aware that I just seem to be moaning all the time, and people are probably watching thinking, well, don't do it then. I just feel like I have to. But yeah, I'm gonna get up off the floor, and I'm gonna, step 1, I guess, get my phone charged for a few hours. But that might not sound so extreme, but really, I think it's about 7:30, and the only reason I know that is because since about 2 o'clock I've been counting every time the church bell rings. That's the only reason I know what time it is, and that's not a big thing. Does it matter what time it is? Maybe not, but oh man, this video is definitely not going on YouTube, is it? The next video you'll see is me going, just trying to be a bit more positive. I'm gonna have to just say, in case I do put it on, that, you know, the biggest thing, and I've said it the whole way through this, is just doing everything on your own. It's not easy, and you know, people have said before, well, you know, go talk to people on the other boats and stuff. Here it's not that easy to do that, and
you get a bit of momentary relief from that, but you know, waking up every morning on your own and going to sleep every night on your own, and in a weird sort of way, I feel really old, and I'm 32, so I'm not actually that old, but at the minute, I have got this whole feeling of, what am I doing? I don't know. But yeah, gonna go find a way to get my phone charged, I hope. So wish me luck, and I'm sure it'll be alright. Right, update. And this is going to be one of them videos that probably doesn't make it on here. But it should, because I said from the start it was going to be an honest YouTube channel. I'm having a meltdown today. I have semi-meltdown like a lot of days, but today I'm having a meltdown. I need to get up and carry on, but you do that so much, and then when stuff just keeps not working, it becomes really, really hard to do. It's going to be another night with no electricity. And last night, you know, I didn't mind it so much. I sat up on the top of the boat, had a few wines, went to sleep, woke up, still didn't have any electricity. Thought, right, today you need to sort this out. So you've got electricity. I like rewired the whole solar panel into the engine battery, and I don't know why it's not working. There's just no reason for it. Like, it started to charge and then it gets so far and then it stops. So then I just end up accepting, okay, well, I'm just staying here then. And then went, as you've seen earlier in the video, had a walk around town earlier, and I walked because, to be honest, there was a part of me that didn't want to come back to the boat and face everything that's broken, like. And yeah, I know if I do put this on, I'm gonna get comments about. I had one the other week, or by the time this comes out, it'll be in the other month, saying it's not the Yorkshire way. It's like, you know, you're on a boat in the south of France. Everybody would love to be in your position. And sometimes I do wake up in the morning, I look out, and I think, you know, and that's why I carry on doing it, because I'd rather this than whatever my alternative is, which I'm not too sure what it is, because, you know, I've said from the start I would make an honest YouTube channel. The reality is I spent all of my young life doing something which ended last year, and then I come out the other end, and the one thing I had that I wanted to do was this, but I didn't know it was going to be quite as fucking hard as it has been. And summer's come in, and I've come into Antibes thinking, you know, that's going to be like a breath of fresh air, and I might meet some people, and in the little parts I have, and some people I was talking to yesterday were saying how, who was on about my video that at this point had had the most views, the one, and the thumbnail's got like solitude or loneliness on it, and they were like, yeah, but you know, people have this belief that they really like to be on their own, and they like to have me time and all the rest of it. Well, my argument is, yeah, until you're really, really, really on your own, and you wake up every morning on your own, and you go to sleep every night on your own, and everything you're doing on your own, and you know, there's days go past where I don't talk to a single person. So I get you're on a boat on the south of France, and I get that people want to see me do well, but the truth of the matter is, there's days like today where I can't get anything to work, and I've got to somehow pick myself up off literally the floor where I've knelt myself down and go find a way to get to the next part, but it's always a slow progression. But that said, I had to just get the camera out. I had to say something because I was just inside my own head. But step one, I guess, I'd find a way to go get my phone charged. So I go get in the dinghy, go back to land, take my phone charger, and beg, and maybe someone will charge my phone, and then that's a start. As for the battery, not really in a position to just go buy a new battery, which is what I've done the previous times where this has happened. So the solar panel's not charging it. Without my phone, I haven't got any internet. So yeah, that's why step one is to charge the phone. You might be watching this thinking, come on man, it's not that bad. And yeah, there's a lot worse. But sometimes you don't see the actual reality, like the boat is just a mess. So you could argue, well, clean it then, but when just things aren't working on repeat, it becomes hard. And when you wake up in the morning and you're anchored to the same spot and you're kind of stuck there, it's not as easy. It's not as easy as people think. It's really, really not. And I hope I'll look back on this video one day and it will have all been worth it. But there's days where I wonder myself if it's worth it. But I don't really have much of an alternative either. So, where's home, I guess. This is it. But the feeling you should get from being at home, I'm not sure this is it. If that makes sense. I don't know. But I'm going to pick myself up, go try find a way to get my phone charged. And then, yeah, come back. At least then have some battery on my phone. And I can maybe try find out why I can't get that battery to work. And I can maybe beg someone to charge the battery if I take it over to land. But I'd rather not be relying on stuff like that, because it's not everyone else's problem. I come in and I ain't got my battery stopped working. You go back to episode 1 when I said I'll either show people that it can be done with very little money and very little experience, and what I didn't say is not very little motivation, because I have motivation, but just, it weren't the plan. The plan was to work another year and then be a bit more ready, but things happened and I'm in the position I'm in. So that said, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go charge my phone, I'm gonna go try find a way to move forward. Yeah.
Wow, that got pretty intense, didn't it? That's not the Bible. It's Complete Yacht Master, which I probably should read. As I say, I've left the stuff, the negative parts in there. And I just wanted to say at the end of the video that it's not easy for me to leave them bits in. I edit through the videos and there's this real urge to take them out, because that episode, minus the last 10 minutes, would have still made an episode. I could have maybe put a little bit of the videos in, but I feel like a lot of other channels do that, and this one, isn't designed to be a negative one. It's it's just meant to have it all in. And as I've said before, I don't pick up the camera and rehearse any videos. It's just everything you've seen so far. I was just recording it as it was happening and what I was feeling or thinking at the time, and that last 10 minutes of the video is what happened. I could easily make it look good, so I could show just the video out there at Anchor, and I could show it. And I've watched some new YouTube channels recently where very quickly they're doing quite well, and that's the sort of stuff they're doing. But I know that it's quite hard to get across on a video, but to row back to my boat on an evening, knowing that there's no electricity, knowing that my phone doesn't have any battery, knowing that there's no distraction, and you're spending then hours. Things fall off all the time. You're spending hours. Yeah, in your own head, and you can hear land from where you are, and it's tough. It is tough sometimes, and you do start to think, am I doing the wrong thing? Because I've been asked a few times, do you want to live on your own on a boat for the rest of your life? It's and because I've started now, it's quite hard, because you never plan on being in the same place for any length of time, to like fit into it. And yeah. So if I didn't leave it in there, I'd watch back the videos, and think, yeah, it was all fun and games, and I wanted it to be honest from the start, and that's what I'll do. And if by doing that the YouTube channel doesn't get loads of views because it's not all fun in the sun and bikinis and beers and all of that stuff, then okay, it doesn't do well. But the people who watch every week, who want to see the honesty in it, I'm like really grateful for that, because it's you guys that make me want to still put the videos on. And if it weren't for you guys who comment and tell me thanks for keeping it real and stuff like that, then I'd probably really struggle to post that, where I'm showing myself really actually not doing okay on the internet. And someone said to me the other day, do you want to put this like negative view of yourself on the internet or whatever? And I'm not really too bothered. I think we live in a world where everyone's a bit conscious and always just wants to show the best in everything. But the reality was, it was tough. And yeah, as I say, sometimes I can see over to land and I can hear the music and I can see that all of that going on. And the video that's done the best so far in terms of views was the one where it was solitude or loneliness, and I think that sums up the winter, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to stop because this video is already too long. But yeah, I just wanted to leave it in there. It's really what happened, and I hope all of us that have, or well, all of you guys that have stuck through that and everything else, hopefully we'll look back from Tahiti, where we can actually spearfish and catch loads of fish, and be glad that stuck out this tough part. But for now, I'm still sticking it out, still surviving, still moving forwards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.